All right, Shalom. This is Har One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I want to do something because it's heavy on my spirit to do. You know, there's a lot going on right now. A lot of tension in the air, according to the prophecies, even amongst the brotherhood. And you have a lot of false stories, false allegations being passed around, and people making videos and backbiting and talking crazy. And, you know, in this position, in this type of situation, you know, it's perfect for you to become an example for the younger brothers that are coming up in the truth. So with that being said, my aim is to show in any situation dealing with this truth, the younger Akim how to do things the right way. You know, the wrong way would be to make videos about people, false allegations. You don't even know the full story. You didn't examine the whole matter, calling people out of their name, you know, all these different things because you can't just say the truth. If you don't know the truth, it's going to make you have to make up for it in another area. You know, like, you know, when you first come into this truth, you have some people that go out there on that caveman spirit. Fuck you, I'll get fucked, shit, you know, yelling and shit. And later you begin to understand that because it's because they lack understanding. They haven't grown yet. They got to mature. And the more they learn, the more, what do you say? It says, John 7:38, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right. And how is that going to happen? Because he's going to drink, he's going to eat, and he's going to do this. All right. Revelations 1:3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. All right. And now this would be the next mature step in your growth, putting away childish things. You know, when you become a man in the truth, you begin to honor the brotherhood, honor all men. You begin to be more slow to react off impulse. You know, you begin to be less overbearing and things like that. It just becomes natural. But the ones that you see still in that spirit, it's hard for you to tell them they didn't grow yet in that area because they'd be busy attacking your ass. So this is 1 Peter 2:1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice, all right, and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, all right, meaning basically saying being emotional. Emotions make you cry sometimes, ain't that what they say? But emotions, men have emotions too, man. Energy and emotion, shit have you acting all erratic, out of pocket. You know, it leads you down this, it will lead you down these paths of hypocrisy, making you a hypocrite, right? Being hypocritical or seeming like you're envious, right? Being stuck in malice instead of stuck in the prophecies. You know, even the apostles came out and said it, yo, move on, just do the work. But you still have people that continue to just, that's their aim, to just put out your light, if you want to call it that. All right, so verse 2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. All right, and that's the focus, that we all grow, you know, till we all what? All right, Ephesians 4:12, for the perfecting, actually 11, and he gave some apostles. All right, we have the apostles today, right? And the apostle just means to be sent out. You know, it's a lot of us sent out, but we honor the apostles because they're truly our elders, and they took the low seat in the room by calling themselves apostles. When IUIC, ISUPK, they saw the apostles of GMS calling themselves elders or being called elders. So IUIC, Nate started calling themselves elders, you know, and bishops, but they were taking it too far. So Apostle Har and the apostles, Apostle Har gave the order out, and they changed it to apostles, which is more true and humble. All right. They are elders, but I'm saying more humble, man. So we do have apostles and some prophets, right? And some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers, and some are blessed with all these gifts. You know, positions, I'll say. But these are different lots, Verse 12, for the perfecting of the saints, not to tear down, but the perfecting. And sometimes you got to tear down to rebuild. Yeah, that's true. But the aim is to perfect the saints, man. And sometimes even when you're in the wrong and you're falsely accusing somebody, it's not that person's, if I'm falsely accusing you, it's not my position to say, take your persecution. Be quiet. If I'm wrong, just be quiet then. That person had lost all rights to give any advice in that situation. You can't be trusted. But what you do is you trust the scriptures, man. You trust the word. You trust Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And what he says is, remember why I sent you. Remember his will, right? Remember the work. Remember the perfecting of the saints. How the Lord aims to make you perfect. All right? And the lowly he lifts up. And the prideful, the ones that are already lifted, he has to bring them down, man. To perfect them. But if you're in a low position, he'll have people strike you, chastise, all kinds of different shit just to strengthen your character and lift you up. All right, that's why you always take the low road, man. You can't lose doing that. And you'll find out if the whole world leaves you, turn their back on you, and you hear that whisper, Yahushua, like Moses heard in the burning bush. When people think they left you alone, the Lord will be with you in the quiet. All right. Where they thought there was one, there's really two. All right. In the depths of your solitude, like like the boy Tupac said. All right. Verse 12, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahushua. And that's what everything is supposed to be done. There you go. 1 Corinthians 14 and 26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath a psalm, hath a doctrine, hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation. Let all things be done unto edifying, man. So that's the aim, man. Not just focusing on gaining a position, just talking shit and backbiting people, tearing them down, and you forget that you sent here to prophesy. You sent here to edify. You sent here to tear down the wicked, but you got to be sure of your judgment on who's wicked and who's righteous. Scriptures say that. 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? The perfected saints going to judge the world, or all Israel, really. And if the world be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we will judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life, man? All right. So the Lord had put a lot of things in our possession, in our responsibility. So we have to examine everything correctly, man. Examine the whole matter in a situation. All right. And that's why the scriptures are in place to protect us, and that's just it, man. So that's why I want to bring these few scriptures out this morning, because it's heavy on my spirit. You got a lot of people saying just move on. Yeah, this is moving on by not attacking, but I have to tell the truth. And the spirit's still moving. All right, on both sides, where, these scriptures have to be read in times like this. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 11 and 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. understand first and then rebuke, man. So, you know, if people act off impulse and they like, yeah, you start going in on you. That person is very impatient. You know, they lack wisdom. They lack understanding. All right. And those people need to grow as well, man, because they can be in danger of judgment. And that's the concern today. Not my own salvation only am I concerned about, but the brotherhood as well. All right. So understand first and then rebuke. And that's really important, man. All right. So I'm gonna get this. That would be giving fair judgment, patient judgment, you know, if that's what you choose to be. All right, because you could be judging a judge. You know, the door swings both ways. All right, so 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, be ye all of one mind. All right, be ye all of one mind, man. You know, and that's the focus, to be of one mind. So we have to hear each other to be able to know what type of mindset each person is in. All right. Having compassion one of another. You have to ask yourself, do you truly have compassion for brothers? You know, even me, myself, that's something I had to work on a couple of years ago, because I always treat people equally. I treat them how I like to be treated. But I lost compassion, meaning the things I went through. You know, you might go through things in your life. Like, say, for instance, you'll be homeless and then somebody else will be homeless. You'll say, nah, you got to go through it because the Lord going to bless you in it. I'm telling you. But it takes a little more compassion to understand that that person might not be you, you know, so you can be there for that person. And you're still not stealing or taking from or robbing from their journey, you know, their own growth by stepping in and intervening. All right. So that's compassion. All right. And in situations when it comes to judgment, man, if you call somebody your brother, you got to you got to do your due diligence, man. If you're going to, I'm going to judge him, I'm going to come at him. If you're going to be the one to do that, then in all fairness, you should examine the whole matter, examine the truth. If somebody say these things, this is the truth, then you're supposed to examine that with the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not with your own intentions or own agenda or own feelings, you know? Especially if you don't know a person. You have to do that, man. Because you're putting yourself in danger of hellfire. The Lord is not a respecter of persons, man. He don't care. It says, love as brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous, you know. And you don't see a lot of that nowadays, man. People not pitiful, pitiful, full of, you know, full of pity for each other. Instead of, oh, you want some pity. Oh, you want to just vindicate, you know. People have to give their testimony before Yahweh Shem Yahushua in every case. All right. And the Lord will vindicate you with that. Without your words being spoken or with your words being spoken, the Lord still vindicates you if it's meant to be, if it's his will. Verse 9, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, right? Somebody call you a bitch or a punk or like my situation, somebody call me a bastard, all these different things, man. You know, you learn not to respond tit for tat. You know, that's why I used that. That's why I used that analogy in the lesson a few days ago. If you see somebody rolling out around in the mud, you want to, I could roll up my sleeves and you wrestle with you too. But you still got to know how to get up and clean yourself off and get that other person out of the mud. That's the thing. So we all be clean when your house shot shows up. All right. So we shouldn't render evil for evil, meaning going back and forth, instead of just being focused on prophecy. Or railing for railing, but contrary-wise, all right? So, but do the opposite. Blessings, man. Hey, bless you, brother, man. I hope everything work out for you, man. You know, you going off, you know, but you was one of us, you know, something like that, man. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. So contrary wise, blessing, man. So when you go to pray at night, you don't pray curses on certain people. You pray what? Blessings on that person. If you think a brother's going off, you pray the Lord open his eyes to see. You do that first instead of saying, yeah, destroy him, get him out, expose him. And what if the Lord don't expose him? You still be like, all right, I'll do it then. You see that? Taking things into your own hands. What you should do is say, give them blessings, favor, you know. Knowing that ye are unto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. So now if you're the one being persecuted, you know, you can also inherit a blessing from the situation. So, you know, I'm gonna read it another way now. Not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrary-wise blessing. All right, so if somebody's attacking you, you know, you take it patiently. It says, knowing that ye are thereunto called. So that's your calling to go through that, man. All right, so the Lord can raise you up or make you stronger. Endure hardness as a good soldier of the Lord, right? That ye should inherit a blessing, you know? So usually when you got haters or you got people coming at you or people misreading you or misunderstanding you or people just hate your damn guts, all right? Or reviling you or coming against you when they don't hate you, but they're just coming against you. Hey, well, it might be a blessing in that. You know, maybe the Lord wants to bless you, but he needs this to happen. He has to make this happen for your blessing to be manifest. All right, I ain't talking about money, I'm talking about wisdom. You know? For he that will love and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. So because that's the focus. And this is how you watch your steps. By examining the whole matter, you won't fall into a place of speaking guile, man, lies, or falsehoods, all right, deceptions, false stories, false allegations, you know. So refrain your tongue from evil, from bad speaking. Let him eschew evil and do good, man. So if this is you, you know, or in the future, you have to catch yourself and say, well, I'm tripping, man. I'm supposed to be doing the work. Why am I getting off going in on these certain people that I just called my brother? You know, I was going to keep teaching. That's the focus. You see people that still be talking about you a month later or weeks later or days later. Them people are obsessed with you. Either that or they want to see your light out. They don't want to see you just hindered or chastised. They want to see you destroyed. They trying to put the finishing touches on it, which is impossible. You know, because the Lord said, if Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua be with you, who can be against you? Period. Even if your own brother trespass against you, he can do nothing. For he that will, verse 11, let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it, man. So that's our aim, is to seek peace between us and Yahweh, us and Yahushua, and amongst each other. And the way that happens is to what? Reason with each other. You know, if you reason with each other, you'll see like, oh shit, that's just, damn, man, I had you all wrong, man. That was just the devil trying to come between us, right? And then the other person would be like, yeah, that was my fault. And it was my fault too, so I apologize, man. And yeah, the devil was trying to come between us. It was just miscommunication, confusion. And you move on. Now the work getting done even better. Now you gained a brother. You know, scripture says if you got a problem with that person, you go to him and him alone. And if he won't hear you, if he hears you, you gain the brother. But if he won't, then you take it through certain steps, you know? And then you cut that brother off and you treat him as a heathen man, like distance from him, but still treat him as a brother. So it says, verse 12, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers, man. You know? But the face of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is against them that do evil. You could be praying bad for a person, the Lord ain't even hearing you. You could thinking you chastising somebody or going in on somebody or doing a good deed when you actually putting yourself in the crosshairs of judgment. You know? But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. Verse 13. And who is he that will harm you if ye be followers of that which is good, man? All right, so who can harm you if you just stand on your path? If you stand on your path and you just keep doing the good things of the scriptures, teaching the good news, teaching the truth, some people you're going to have to chastise them and go at them. But when you do that, if you're going to take that seat as a chastiser, then you got to do it correctly. You got to do it accurately. You got to divide everything up properly, hear the whole matter, all these things. So you won't be in danger of being a hypocrite, or false accuser, all these things, or having guile in your mouth. All right. But if a man be followers of that which is good, and what's that which is good? What Yahushua did when he was persecuted, what the great apostles of the Bible did when they were persecuted falsely, but they still told their testimony. While people was telling them to shut up, they still spoke. That's the reason we even have the scriptures. You see that? So you got to speak your piece, man. It's just about timing of it, when and where and why, or if it's worth it. All right. Verse 14. But and if ye shall suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye. Right? And that's the aim, man. So if you know you're right in the situation and you're doing the work of the Lord, and people falsely accuse you or come at you, come up against you, then you should be happy about that. And they be, oh, look at you, you're happy about it. Look, no, you should be, because if you know you're right, and that's just it, man. And I feel like if a person is correct in the situation, it's irresponsible if they jump out there and say, hey, man, you a bitch, you this, they go reveling with a person, word for word with a person, knowing that they're right, not even just wrong, either one. If you know you're wrong in the situation, it's wrong to go back and forth. If you know you're right in the situation, you speak your testimony, but you don't attack anyone, feeling like I'm right, so I can attack you now. Nah, I'm right. So that puts me in the seat. That puts the person in the seat of a bigger brother spiritually in that sense. Because only in that situation, because you know the right thing to do. All right, is to what? Move on, keep going. Trust Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's a chance for the Lord to show his power. That's a chance for things to change. If you're a pinata and people hit you, what's going to come out? Is it going to come out hatred? All right. Or that candy, sweet, or love, edification, all these things. You catch more bees with honey, sweetness, right? So if somebody hits you, and that's just it, man. It's about how you handle it. You don't have to hit them back, You can be be the bigger person in the situation. And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. All right, so don't be afraid of what they're saying. They wishing stuff on you, praying against you, putting things like, if you won't take chastisement, you deserve death, and you got family at home and children that love you and brothers and sisters that truly love you. But these people saying they want you dead, that's crazy, man. The Lord wasn't saying those things. All right, Yahushua wouldn't say those things to his brothers. He prayed that none of them be lost. And it says, but sanctify Yahweh Shem Yahushua in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you, with meekness and fear. All right, so if somebody asks you a question about what you believe, it's not your job to bite their goddamn head off. You deal with them with meekness and fear, because that person could be a man of the Lord that's just not woken up to the truth. You could be looking down on that person because they're not in the truth yet and they're listening to you humbly. you know, and you know, like Andrew and Peter. You know, Andrew came into the truth first. And he could have mocked Peter. He could have laughed at Peter, like, I know where the Lord is at. You know, like, I met the Lord first. I'm over you, Peter. You know, but Peter came in later. But Peter wound up bringing in almost 3,000 souls, if not more than that. All right, Peter became the foundation of the church. So if we are those men of the Lord, there's no telling who we all might be, or what rank we had in the heavens, right, and upon the earth in ancient times. So that, you know, so that's why we had to deal with everything the way the Lord would deal with it, man. All right, even in chastisement. Verse 16, having a good conscience, that whereas they speak of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse you, your good conversation in Yahushua. All right. So people call you a wicked man, but they can't judge your works. According to your works, you're accurate, man. You're on point. All right. You might, you know, you're going to have the world come against you too, that just don't believe you, you know, and blame you and accuse you, call you rapist, call you all these different things, lying on you. You know, and then you got to what? You got to at least say your part as a testimony and to edify and clarify. And then the Lord will what? Vindicate you, right? So when somebody brings false allegations against you, that's the way you handle it. And then you move on. You keep prophesying. Don't let nothing distract you from prophesying and teaching and edifying, building up the church. All right. You chastise some, you might cut some off. You might disagree. But just because Paul and Barnabas disagreed, that didn't make Paul a rebel. That didn't make Barnabas a rebel. That didn't make them wicked. It's just they both agreed to do the work. He said, am I Paul crucified for you? You know, one say if I'm a Paul, other one say I'm of Cephas. But am I Paul crucified for you? So he was in that right state of mind. He's like, yo, just do the work. Like Apostle Har always say, man, just do the work. If you're a man of the Lord, do the work. If you're not in GMS, do the work. You know, just believe. Hopefully the Lord be with you. If you're truly a man of the Lord. All right. But say when you get kicked out, you have people make videos and go in on you. Say, hey, man, now look at you. You got GMS off your name. That's what you wanted. You want to just do your own thing anyway. No, I got kicked. Call being kicked out, man. You can't go up to somebody they kicked out of the house. And you say, yeah, look at you. You think you're a man now, huh? You just don't want to be in the house. Look at you. Like, no, you got kicked out. You get what I'm saying? So you just move on with your life. It is what it is. All right. Either you can swim or you can drown. You got a choice. For it is better if the will of Yahweh be so that ye suffer for well-doing than for evil-doing, man. So if you know that you're correct and you're doing the work, suffer for that. You know, it's better to suffer for that. You know, you might be called to inherit a blessing. All right. And you gotta believe it. Don't let nobody sway you from that. You gotta believe that and hold on to it. You know. For Yahushua also have once suffered for sins. It's crazy. So the Lord suffered for all our sins. So no servant is greater than his master. He was persecuted. And that's Yahushua, the creator of everything. He came here to his own people and his own received him not. All right, John. Yahushua had to tell the people, like, yo, you already killed Elijah. He was already dead. Like, he's like, what? Yeah. Y'all thought it was John, that was Elijah. All right. And Peter, the Lord had to rebuke him so many times and check him and make sure he was cool. But look, he wanted to be in King David, or the foundation that the church was laid on. You know, Peter, the rock, the foundation. All right. And that was all character building. That was all correction to make him who he is, who he was to become. All right. For Yahushua also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust. Wow. That he might bring us to Yahweh, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. All right, so I'm gonna stop there. All right, this is Matthew chapter 18, verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, you know, and that's to the world and to amongst the brotherhood. You know, you can't despise the Lord's property, his servants. All right, they're not your servants, you know. And the scriptures say if you begin to beat the men servants, being impatient, and the word beat doesn't mean just hit like physically. It's talking about spiritually hurt them. If you begin to hurt the men servants of the Lord, he's going to cut you your part with the wicked. He's going to be weeping and gnashing the teeth. And you're going to say, Lord, but haven't I prophesied in your name? He's going to say, I never knew you, man. You went out and prophesied, had the whole look of an Israelite, got close to the elders, but you weren't a man of the Lord at all. You know, you have no moral value, no compassion. All these things that the scripture's speaking of, man, long suffering, patience, right? Being decisive and precise with your judgment, being able to divide the matter and hear the whole matter. All right. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. All right. So you could be praying against that person, but that person could be praying for you. And the Lord is a righteous judge, man. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. All right. So we were all lost at some point. And if you believe a brother is lost, then you're supposed to do the due diligence and reach out to that brother and talk to him. Comment boards, however you want to look at it. You know, there's so many ways to contact people. If you really got an issue and you clarify your problem and you hear that person, you don't say, brother, you wrong. And talk over them and tell them to be quiet and tell them shut up. You don't do these. That shit's fucking wicked, man. You always hear somebody out. You know, you treat, if you're a man, you got testicles, you talk to a man, you hear him too. Unless they're trying to change doctrine or something like that. But as personal matters, man, you hear both sides, man. You don't put yourself in the seat over somebody by, you naturally do that when you just tell a person take their persecution. You tell a person just be quiet, or tell a person you need to hear me. No, you need to hear both sides. That's just true, man. All right, so everybody can move on. All right, because me, if you talk to me, I'm going to hear you out because I don't want you to walk away from our conversation and not have said everything you would like to say. Just like when we're out there teaching, man, I don't tell certain people to shut up, you know, because that person is in that line to give his testimony about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, out there with you teaching, laboring. But that person wants to speak, I let them speak, man, because they can die today or tomorrow and they haven't said their piece, you know? So I let people speak. Say your piece, brother. Go ahead, man. You know, and I guide them and I listen with a sharp ear and I step in and intervene if they slip up. So for the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How think ye if a man have 100 sheep? All right, you got a big camp, you know, and one of them be going astray. Doeth he not leave the 99 and go into the mountains and seeketh that which is gone astray? All right, because that's why Yahushua said, be careful amongst men, because men are just that, man. All right, Yahushua is the ultimate goal, the one we want to be crowned by. He the one that died for us, man, and he would go after any sheep that he deemed as the hopeful elect. All right, he'll be with them. All right, that's what the apostles talk about all the time. The Lord will vindicate you. That don't mean you can't speak and give your testimony, man. You know, and the Lord will vindicate you behind that too as well. But either way, if he vindicates you, it's not just so everybody can love you and be your friend. It's vindication so people can hear what you're teaching, you know, and believe you, you know. And vindication doesn't have to come from amongst the brotherhood. It could be within yourself. The Lord will show you the truth. All right, and just have you move forward in the truth, in the, you know, in the truth of the situation. All right, He'll reveal things to you to show you that, hey, I'm with you still. That's vindication. All right, verse 12, verse 13. And if so be that he find it, talking about that sheep, very right, because if you think a brother going off, you're supposed to reach out and try to contact him and talk to him, man, reason with him. Not bash him and you get the fucking line, nigga. Yeah, you going on, you been a nigga, man. Like, nobody going there. No man on earth in his right state of mind is going to let another man talk to him like that. I don't give a fuck. Period. Period, man. You always got to come at people correctly. Scriptures say that, man. You deal with each person individually. Judgment mindset for each individual. You don't treat every man on the team the same in judgment when you're dealing with chastising. You know, just being who you are, not having empathy. But instead, you deal with each person individually and you use discernment and be empathetic when you're speaking to them, all right? You don't have to be no pussy or a punk, but you be empathetic, all right? Excuse my language. Empathy is basically putting yourself in another person's shoes, all right? Seeing it from their side as well. And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that one sheep than of the 99 which went not astray. So if you think you got it right, and one brother seemingly starts to not do things your way, the Lord, if that person is a man of the Lord will care for that person. You know, not the way you wouldn't. You know, while you trying to tear him down, the Lord will build that person up. What the devil means for bad, the Lord will change it to good. And you find yourself sitting in the seat of the scoffer, seat of the hypocrite, the seat of envy, the seat of false accusers like the devil, being an accuser. And you'll look, and time will have went by, and that's all you've been doing. All right? And it shows your true intentions. It shows the malice of your heart. All right? But if you hit a man and all that comes out of him is prophecy, edification, love, sincerity, of course you're going to have some wrath, you know, but you're going to be able to draw back that wrath. Then that person has to be a man of the Lord. If what he's teaching is on point with, you know, the doctrine, diligence. So that's what I aim to be, man. That's what I aim to set, the standard I want to set. And with Apostle Har, he's the example of greatness. I want to follow after that, you know, of greatness, doing the work. All right. So, and it says, moreover, if thy brother, even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. And you got to know that, man. It's not the will of the Father that you want somebody to perish. If you're just calling them brother, you know, in this camp, in Jacksonville, Florida, all right, not saying separately like this camp, I'm talking about this camp and here in Florida in general. We, in Jacksonville, we believe in transparency. You know, anything happens, we talk about it, man. Y'all arguing, we about to have a conference, y'all want to talk? You know, I got an issue with so-and-so, hey, we going to talk about it. Hey, hit him up right now. And we deal with it, man. We deal with it, we talk about it, man, you know. And it's not one-sided because I'm the head of the camp. I hear everybody out. That makes me be like Dumbo because I got the big ass ears. I hear everything you want to say. What's up? I'm all ears, literally. All right. So it's not the Father's will that any should perish that's of the hopeful elect. And just because you're not with a certain camp don't mean you perish, man. Don't mean you're wicked. All right. One saith I'm of Paul, others say I'm of Cephas, but Yahushua is the one crucified, man, and that's the aim. All right, that's the aim, man. And you always honor the elders because that's the connection to the tree. That's the connection to the vine. And if you're a branch, it's not wrong with being a branch. That don't mean you're a rebel. What that means is you better blossom, keep that tree looking nice. You better start budding. All right, just do the work. And don't break off from the vine, you know, from the apostles and ultimately from Yahushua. You always give honor to the elders. You don't turn wicked or vindictive and change your course and start saying, fuck them. I don't give. You're basically sawing yourself off at the limb. All right. Verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, so a lot of people take things personal. So if you feel like somebody trespass against you, you feel like you're offended, it says, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. That's the focus, man. All right. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established, man. And if you see witnesses, if you see proof, all these things, man, it should be established. It shouldn't be rejected. It shouldn't be like, I seen that, but you're still going off, man. We'll take your persecution. No, it should be like, yo, I heard you. I see it. And what you showed is the facts. All right. And you gain a brother. And the truth is established, you know, by the witnesses. And if he shall neglect to hear the church, tell it unto the church. But if he shall neglect to hear them, the witnesses, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. All right. So, you know, but if the church is saying, hey, show your proof, and the person shows the proof, then hey, and the church said, hey, everybody just prophesy, do the work. That's what should be done, you know. That's what should be done. Everybody should move on. But if it's not going to happen, then I hope to be an example for the younger brothers and how you're supposed to deal with situations like this. You know, you just continue to prophesy, you do the work and edify. That's it, man. And you get stronger and you enjoy your time with the Most High, man. Your experience in the truth. All right, don't let anybody steal your joy or put out your light. All right. Matthew 5:21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill. And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment, right? Because, you know, it's murder, basically, man. All right. Now with spiritual, so you have spiritual murderers as well. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause. So you got to have a cause, man. You got to have a proper cause. Even in Esau's court system, you got to have a proper cause, man. All right. You got to have proof. You have no jurisdiction to even deal with anybody if you don't have the proof. All right. If both sides don't agree. That whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. All right, that's right here upon earth. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. Right? Because you could be picking on one of the Lord's little ones, man, and be wrong. You can be a hypocrite, be completely wrong. And the Lord will have you speak the truth out of your mouth by saying, I didn't examine the whole matter. I didn't watch the whole thing, but ain't no but. Anything you say before but is bullshit. right? It's a lie. All right, so that's why you shame the devil and tell the truth, man. All right, right. So if you say unto your brother Rakah, you're in danger of the council, But if you call a brother a fool and he teaching you the truth and he telling you the truth, then you're blaspheming the Holy Spirit. All right, saying that the things he's saying is foolish. If he's speaking about the Most High. But if it's dealing with him himself, just as a brother, and you say Rakah, you call him what? And you call him an empty one, right? You say thou worthless. You say your brother's worthless, insignificant, right? As a term of utter vilification. So vilifying a person, man, trying to make that person be the villain, even giving them villain names, right? Vilifying a person. That's what Esau does, man. The accuser. Empty, senseless, empty-headed man. All right, calling a person simple and stupid. All right, so it says, if you say to verse 22, if you say to your brother Rakah, calling him worthless, man, shall be in danger of the council. All right, but the council is supposed to stand by that, man, and hold proper judgment, and say, hey, man, you can't be calling it, whatever. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire, right? If you're going against the doctrine, then you're in danger of hellfire, being destroyed. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee, all right? And that's what a lot of us is doing. You're going to pray, you're going out to teach, right? And ultimately trying to seek Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And in your spirit that you feel like a brother offended you, but you don't have all the details. Then he says, what? Leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother and then come and offer thy gift, right? I spoke with a brother last night and we reconciled things, man. We reasoned. We didn't agree on everything totally. But once you speak to a person, man, if each one is man enough to speak to each other instead of just be miles away and just be popping shit, disrespecting somebody, trying to vilify somebody, that's putting that person in danger, of judgment. But if you able to reconcile and reason with things, that's the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. And be able to still walk away or agree to disagree on certain things, but you try to come as close as you can to reaching a point of agreement, that's reasoning with each other, man. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Type of thing that make chariots fly over and document it. All right, 1 Timothy 4:10. For therefore we both labor and suffer reproach, because we trust in the living power, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe, man. So 2/3, the Lord's still going to save them by bringing them back in the kingdom. But the ones that believe now, they're the first fruits of the kingdom, and they're going to be saved first. But that's why we labor and we suffer reproach, man. All right, blame. Because we trust in the living power, that he sees everything, that he's the true judge of the matter. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation. So you got to be an example of the believers. Like Paul and Peter and Yahushua wasn't talking to their brothers like, you a bastard, you ain't shit. Just falsely accusing, and every day they went out and taught, they just talking about their brother. Yahushua didn't go out there doing lessons on Peter, talking about Peter, right? Peter didn't go out talking about Paul and disrespecting Paul, even though the church didn't want Paul among them because he was gifted with certain precepts and things. Peter had to say, yo, this is our brother. Even though we can't understand his scriptures, like his breakdowns, that's our brother. That's what Peter said, man. All right. So what? It says, be an example of the believers, man. And taking your persecution and when you're handling your chastisement or judgment. If you feel like you're a judge, right? In word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. All right. Not backbiting somebody, not reviling and just talking shit, making just video after video. You can't get off this goddamn topic. You know, just trying to literally hurt somebody when you didn't know the person. You can't see the person, so you can't see what they're really going through. You can't really see if you're correct in the matter, and you can't see if you're hurting them or not. You know, you can be shooting arrows and just hitting the goddamn ground, which that's the truth. All right, so a lot of people shooting blanks because the Lord not with them in this situation. So with that, I'm gonna say I hope it was edifying and encouraging. Matter of fact, yeah, let me read the rest of this. It says, verse 14, neglect not the gift that is in thee. So if you feel like you got a gift, don't neglect it. Keep nurturing it. Keep sharing it. When people try to put your light out and back you into a corner, you don't let them push you into a corner anymore. All right. But your eyes shall see your teachers, you know, and you shall hear your prophets. Neglect not the gift that is in you, which, putting your hand to the plow, meaning doing his work. All right. Because as you do the work, the fuel is the wisdom and the prophecies and the gift that he gave you. All right. The wisdom. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy. Whoa. With the laying on of the hands of the presbyteries, meaning like the elders, you know. Meditate upon these things, right? By the elders going out and prophesying, that's how we got the truth. And us going out and prophesying, that's how you get the truth, you know, so on and so on. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them. All right, don't meditate on what people saying, you know, because people got demons on them, man. They try to get you to feel them demons. The way they feel, they want you to feel. So you meditate on what Yahweh is saying about you. He telling you to believe. He telling you, I'm going to make you great. He's telling you that the situation is going to pass soon, that they're wrong for these things, that you got to keep pushing it. Now it's time to show and prove. But at the same time, other people saying you ain't shit. You can't meditate on that, man. All right. So you meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly unto them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Right. And that's the purpose, man, because the Lord will exalt you, and he'll exalt you through wisdom. He'll exalt you through your work ethic. You know, he'll exalt you by protecting you. And that's what we all hope, to be exalted from our low condition. Right? Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. And that's what I aim for, is to be saved and to save the ones that hear me. Anybody that hear me and you stand in front of me, I want to give you the full truth. You know, what I learned from the elders, and some things I learned through the spirit, you know, and it's obvious. So with that, man, I hope it was edifying. And I'm gonna say shalom.